Hi, my name is Richard Bromwell and I'm a director here at Charterhouse Auctioneers in Sherborne, Dorset, and today I'm going to give you a couple of minute trade talk about stamps. Now really, unless you're at least 50 years old, you probably won't have much interest in stamps, but if you are over 50, and many of us are these days, you may well have a fantastic interest in stamps. Now the market for this is absolutely huge. Certainly the internet, a lot of people are bidding live on the internet at our auctions, but today I want to talk to you about two collections of stamps we've got coming up for auction. Now the first collection is absolutely fascinating. It was basically formed in the early 1920s by Colonel Whitwell, and is actually put in into a bag in a box as a present for his godson. Now he said on the notes not to be opened by his godson until 1950. Now I've got no idea why he couldn't wait until 1950. I think the long and short of it was that he actually waited until 1950, and in 1960 and 1970 and 1980 and 1990 and actually even into the millennium, they remained all wrapped up in the bag. And I felt quite bad because when the client brought them in to Charterhouse evaluation, I had to unwrap them all. They're all beautifully wrapped up. This is probably the most valuable set of stamps that has come from the collection. Now, because they've been all wrapped up for so long, they're in the most amazing post office fresh condition. Now, these stamps were collected for Stanley Gibbons and other very good stamp dealers back in the 1920s. This Canadian set, dating from Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee in 1897. The Canadian set goes from half a cent right the way up to the $5. Now, obviously, that's a very high value stamp. The result being such a fine set like this, you're probably looking at auction between £1,000 and £1,500. But also, the important thing with stamps is that people say, oh, what if there's just one in the collection? And this Mauritius 1 rupee is particularly interesting. Again, it's another commemorative stamp. It's a silver jubilee stamp from 1935, and I don't even see it, George, but just to the left of the flagpole on the castle there's an extra blob. Now the extra blob is a misprint. It is a printer's fault, and this turns a £5 stamp to something which is probably worth £100, maybe even £150. So very important to look out for these little anomalies when going through collections. Luckily, I've had a 45 year passing interest in stamps. We're pretty clued up on it, and it's great to make that little discovery of that little fault in by the flagpole. So there's our quick little trade talk. So if you've got stamps, you know where to come. Come and see us at Charterhouse in Sherborne, Dorset.